Traders navigating bearish bets in the U.S. stock market face the looming threat of a short squeeze, according to Citigroup. Citigroup is the same analyst that gave AMC a $4.75 price target, as well as the same institution that is lending AMC money. But speaking of Citigroup, speaking of their price target, AMC has made a brand new low today, down 2.6%, trading at $5.44. Where is it going to go? Previously, in yesterday's video, we showed you a breakdown of what we've been tracking with AMC, and if you haven't seen it, it's very simple. It's right before the run-up in January of 2021, and if we saw something very, very similar starting this yellow cycle, this last sell-off where AMC hit a low, AMC would come down and bottom at $4.35. This would be down 36% from the top of the range as soon as the yellow part of the cycle starts, which is the same exact thing that we've seen back here, down from about $16.40 all the way down to about $10.47 on AMC, which is about a 36% decline before scaling higher and getting that jump. Now, the message for this video is we are either going to see a rip, a squeeze out of nowhere over the next few days, or this entire bull cycle is done. And I know that sounds like a very bold statement to make, but I want to touch on a couple of things. First things first, XRP, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. XRP, Ethereum Classic, correlated to AMC, but not only that, the S&P 500, Tesla, other stocks as well. Taking a look at XRP, we said if this thing starts a bear cycle in this point of interest, it's going to be bad for AMC. And we just got a flush down about 22% on XRP. And we bounced right back up to around 60 cents, trading at 58 cents right now as we speak. And if we look back here, where this point of interest started, you saw the same thing, a very ugly flash down before we ended up ripping higher, which is one thing I wanted to point out, that this could be a flush down before the squeeze higher. And then looking at Ethereum Classic, you have this move right here correlated to this cycle, this move correlated to the cycle, this move, every point in the same exact cycle. And I said, if Ethereum Classic also goes bearish, it's going to be bad for AMC as well. And we got a flash down in Ethereum Classic in this point of interest. But once again, take a look at previous cycles, a major flash down here right around the same time frame of the cycle, and it happens time and time again. But not only that, what time frames are we looking at? We're looking at from March into April, when Ethereum Classic, XRP, AMC all had some sort of move, and then AMC had it right after, right? AMC had it late May, early May, coming into that June run-up, that June quote-unquote squeeze. So if we look at February, March, April, May on the S&P 500, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see the S&P spike up, climb, right? Short sellers getting really, really stuck in positions, chop in the market at all-time highs, right? And then finally getting a breakout end of March, right there, early into April. Guess what you're seeing right now? Nasty pop, short sellers down 178 billion, getting chop, might see chop here more. Once we break higher, you're either going to see AMC, XRP, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, crypto as a whole, the overall market, Tesla, everything squeeze. And I think this is the more likely case scenario, especially with what's happening with Tesla and what we're tracking. As many of you know, I just doubled down on Tesla, also in shares as well as call contracts. I can put another position that I just entered up here. But this is where I think we are on Tesla, just getting this flash down before the bull cycle. And if Tesla leads the way, or this is true, you're going to see the same thing happen with the overall market, which means you're going to see the same thing happen with AMC, XRP, and Ethereum Classic, which leads me back to my bold statement that we are either going to see an end to this entire bull cycle for 2024, which is going to be bad, and I don't think that's the case, especially with rate cuts coming, or you're going to see a major, major move in all of these plays, and I'm still holding. I'm not even worried. I'm not shaken out one bit. If you guys are worried or shaken out, let me know in the comments down below. And at the end of today's video, I'm going to be touching on the summary of the Fed minutes. That is going to be at the very end. So the style of this video is going to be a little bit different. And I know I didn't ask you yet, but before we get into GameStop and the data for the video, if you haven't yet, please like the video. It helps me out. And it also pushes this information out to anyone else who's holding AMC, Tesla, SPY, etc., etc. So that will help me and also get us to 20K subs. We are very, very close. GameStop trading at $16.57, down 0.72% on the day, holding up. Honestly, we just want to see GameStop above $15.80 this entire time, still stair-stepping, making higher highs, higher lows, broke below the aggressive trend line like Tesla in the overall market. And overall, it's going to take off when everything else takes off, or it's going to sell off when everything else sells off. I don't think GameStop is an outlier in this scenario. According to Ortex for AMC, 8.56% short interest, so not really a change there. But there is in the short exempt volume, and we're going to touch on that. But first, 3.8 million shares available to borrow against it. Barely any calls compared to 30,000 puts expiring in the money. And all of this premium going to market makers, which is a sad thing to see. Very bearish on the options chain for the next couple of weeks. We need to see AMC hit its low before the 12th, hopefully, or by the 12th, so that the 19th week, AMC can climb higher and higher and higher and put all of these contracts in the money, which will be a beautiful thing to see for the yearly expiration. Now, yesterday, clearly fake sell-off. Every single day is a fake sell-off because nobody is selling, or at least we think, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. Short exempt volume up from 171,000 to 313,000, which is extremely high. GameStop, 750,000 shares available to borrow. Calls, 5,000 expiring in the money compared to 3,000 puts, as well as way more people betting bullish on GameStop this week, next week, as well as the 19th. Going to be extremely volatile in the options market for GameStop. Short exempts dying down slightly as well, but again, correlating over the volume, they push it with what they need to. Now, we think no one's selling, but there is an order imbalance on AMC for 604,932 shares on the sell side, but this really doesn't mean much, as somebody could just be selling before the new low or assisting the sell-off for the new low. Try and shake retail out once again. Moving on, this is what everyone is talking about. Judge officially unseals the Jeffrey Epstein documents, which exposes major politicians as well as celebrities, including Bill Gates, and the largest bank that we focus on, JP Morgan. Highbridge Capital Management is a multi-strategy alternative investment management firm, and it was purchased by JP Morgan Chase. This was found in the Jeffrey Epstein case, as well as JP Morgan tried to hide their correlation to Jeffrey Epstein as well as Bill Gates. Now, former Citi executives are launching Bitcoin depository receipts, which are securities backed by Bitcoin that do not need SEC approval, which is a horrible thing to hear coming into the Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of people are talking about how this is not going to be good for crypto. It's not going to be good at all because it is just another way for them to create more schemes, right? Steal money from the people, which honestly I think is accurate, sadly. But again, the only way to get around this is hold your keys, hold your crypto in a cold wallet. Plus, touching on this, 1 week until the largest options exchange in the world lists Bitcoin and Ethereum margin futures, Cboe Global Markets will become first U.S. regulated crypto exchange and clearinghouse to enable both spot and leveraged derivative trading on a single platform. Leveraged and derivative trading for crypto, along with these depository receipts, is already making for a bad show. And before we get into crypto to close out the video, as well as what happened with the Fed minutes, guys, this is huge level 2 order book data, so I can tell where whales are loading up and dropping off shares instead of paying for it on Webull. However, I do sadly still pay for it on Webull just because I like to see it on all my platforms, but it's free over on Moomoo. Also a customizable earnings calendar, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the reason I like Moomoo, the reason I really actually use it, is not only that I get some money in free stocks, but their notifications are better than any platform that I really ever use. Anytime a stock is playing earnings, anytime a stock comes out with news, I get it popped up on my phone, and it's extremely helpful to keep up with the market. Overall, guys, my link is in the top of the description to get up to 15 free stocks, as well as earn 5.1% APY on your uninvested cash. All you have to do is sign up like you would Webull or Robinhood and make a deposit of even a penny to start earning benefits from there. Also, guys, another link under the video. Hit the link and watch the trailer and decide on joining. I'm in there on the daily, so you can come talk with me. You can request me to make a specific video on YouTube and also just ask for tips and whatnot. Talk to the most amazing people in here, stocks and crypto all day long. Best place to be. A coffee a month. Level up your trading journey for 2024. And if you're in here, get your friends in here as well. Tell them to come over to the channel and use the link to get in Discord. Now, Bitcoin ETF approval is on its way. SIBO has approved Fidelity's application for the listing of the shares of the trust for their spot Bitcoin ETF, and Michael Saylor thinks Bitcoin will hit 350K in 2024. Touching on Bitcoin, came back down, broke into the wedge, broke back out of the wedge, and basing on top of the wedge. This is a beautiful setup for technical analysis over on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is leading the way for crypto, watching for another test right around 46K, and once we break above, Bitcoin is going to 54 in my opinion, and I still think that is the case. However, for Riot and Mara, I just want to be transparent. I think Riot and Mara are over or very close to nearing an end, and I will not be re-entering Riot or Mara. None of this is financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Now, the summary of the Fed minutes. Fed views rates likely at or near their peak. Fed officials maintain a 2% inflation target. Rates are likely to remain restrictive for some time. Clear progress has been made on inflation, and officials acknowledge rate cuts by the end of 2024. However, the market is still pricing in double the amount of rate cuts compared to the Fed guidance. So basically everything as expected. And to close out the video, U.S. jobless claims rise 202,000, estimated 216 and previously 220, which is the lowest since October. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Subscribe to the channel on your way out, hit the like button, join the Discord, get your free stocks using Moomoo for just signing up and using my link and making a deposit. That is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.